when I saw a video just a few minutes ago of cops trying to break up a goddamn street takeover, and fools jumped on the hood of the police car with the sirens on in Compton. I'm like, dude, there ain't no respect, man.
The bad guys are taking over, man.
There ain't no respect. So I don't want to put myself in that position, man. I'm too old to be fighting cases. I ain't trying to lose my house, get fighting no lawsuits behind trying to get somebody a party that don't appreciate it. Nah. If your idea of going in circles at 100 miles an hour is a party, you ain't the person I want to mess with.
Yeah. You call the police, I'm sure it'll be hours
if they show up,
if they ever even come. Back then, when you had a problem and you called them, would they show up? Like back when you were doing your thing, did they show up pretty quickly?
And even to dark, we had a thing. We would let the cops know, hey man, we got a big party tonight. If y'all in the area, not too busy, about closing time, could y'all come through? Sometimes they just pull up, and that's all we needed them to pull up, and they just the presence of the police detoured any bullshit. Okay, detoured any bullshit. Got the parking lot cleaned out faster. And if it was a big crowd, they may have to get on the PA, hey, get in your cars, go home. And somebody throw up a finger, but they get in their car and go home. Okay? And that made a big difference.
Yeah, man. All right, let's move. Let's keep talking about Eazy a little bit.
So
you knew Eazy personally better than a lot of people. Why do you think you knew Eazy personally better than a lot of people? Why do you think 30 years later, people still love Eazy as much as they did, if not more now than when he was alive?
That's a good question, man. People tend to really immortalize people after they check out, man, after they pass. I remember the same thing happened with Martin and Malcolm. Martin Luther King was not well liked. He was not all that liked that well by a lot of people back in the day. But once he died, got killed, he was the shit. He was the man.
No shit. Can you break that down a little bit? Can you break that down about MLK a little bit? I didn't know that.
We don't. MLK. It was a big issue. He was considered a rebel rouser to some people, a troublemaker. Okay, even for some black people, they saw him as being a troublemaker. Okay, some people were had been so programmed to go along with the program. Here comes somebody, this young kid, because he wasn't like 33, 34 years old. This young kid starting all this shit, getting people's ass whooped and stuff, getting dogs and water cannons sprayed on people and shit. Man, he's crazy. And then Malcolm was just the opposite, because he was like, "Let's whoop their ass. Okay, let's go for it." And that again, he's a troublemaker. So both of them had their issues. Everybody wasn't behind them 110%. And it's the same thing, with guys like Eazy. Eazy, he started off. He was hated by the media, and a lot of people didn't care for him in the beginning. Okay, a lot of people didn't care for N.W.A in the beginning. They had their issues too, but at some point in time, all that shit flipped over, and they became heroes. They went from zeros to heroes in less than 60 seconds. And why the thing with Tupac? Tupac, I would think it was more rightfully so than Eazy in some ways, because Tupac, one thing about him, he left a serious body of work behind him. Not only music and movies. I don't call Eazy doing no movies. I know he did some videos, but I'm gonna call him doing no movies. But Tupac, he showed his talent. He showed a lot more talent and potential than a lot of people have and still alive. So it is what it is.
I want to ask you, since you were alive back then, I'm looking back as a youngster, whose philosophy, Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, would you say you would have gravitated to more when you were younger in the 60s, 70s, whatever? And is that the same today? Like, who would you gravitate to more, philosophy-wise, obviously, as a young black man?
I ain't never been one for getting the ass whooping, but I ain't stupid either. Okay, I ain't never been one for getting the ass whooping, just to show them love and them whoop your ass. And as most people don't know that Martin was leaning towards some of Malcolm's philosophies right before he got killed. Okay, he was leaning toward, like, this trying to love somebody whooping your ass, it ain't really getting the point across. And I probably would have been more of a if I hadn't been raised Catholic, I probably would have been more on the Malcolm side because I wanted to be a Black Panther. I wanted to be a young Black Panther back in the day. So I would have to say, just from my upbringing, my mom she liked Martin Luther King. My dad thought both of them was crazy. I liked Black Panthers because they would march. They was Black Panthers and WLCHC in my neighborhood. So I thought that was the coolest shit in the world. Having my two brothers out there marching with their big ass naturals and leather jackets. I thought that was shit until they started getting shot at. Then that changed. Hey. Now, but one thing about them, they wasn't no joke. When it came to the police, they talking about fuck the police. Black Panthers was with it. Fuck the police long time ago. Okay, they just wasn't talking about. They went down with them a couple times. I know on the 54th and Central, I think it was. They had a big shootout back in the day.
I heard about that. Do you remember that as a youngster?
Hell yeah, dude. That was the only thing the news was on because back then you only had like 6-7 channels, and every channel had a cameraman out there ducking bullets like the police, and they was lighting up the doggone lighting up the headquarters. They had another shootout at a I think it was that was another group, Sin Tzu and Patty Hertz. All that was around the same time, man. All that was around the same time when brothers was really like, I'm tired of this shit. Okay, they wasn't marching. They wasn't bullet shopping. Okay, it was a whole different attitude back then, man. They wasn't marching, dude.
What a time that must have been, man. Last Eazy E question. Everybody in the comments loves Eazy E stories. Every time I saw Eazy E, he had a cool ass stroll. When I see footage of him on stage and stuff, he has this cool ass limp, like almost like he's literally handicapped. Was that how he really walked, or was that just
that's how he walked? Man. That's how he walked. That's how he strolled. Eazy had the most. Eazy if he was an animal, he would remind you of a sloth. If he was an animal, he would remind you of a sloth. He didn't talk fast. He didn't move fast. He just was he had a real mild, smooth mannerism, period. Okay? He talked real slow. Lonzo, man, look here. I got some money, man, but it's for this right here. I'll take this $20. No, man, no. I never seen him really pissed. But he just had a real smooth demeanor about him, and that's what made it. That's where he got the name Eazy E from, because he had a real smooth demeanor. You know, he walked sometimes, and he just walked with his hands sometimes, and he just, and he was always with his kids. He just was a different kind of dude, man.